What's up, guys? My name is Mitchell or Deity, and I will be doing a new 2024 Epic 7 player guide. So, if you are just getting into this game, this will be part 0 of that guide series. I will be going over whether it's worth starting E7 in 2024 or not. And I will also be going over, toward the end of the video, any of you guys that are maybe watching the old guide series, the changes that will be in this guide series. So, Epic 7, we'll just get started right away. My old guide series all did extremely well. That's kind of what I am known for in E7 at this point, is a new player guide or guide guy. So that's the meme that's going around. So I like getting new players into this game and teaching them how to play it, because Epic 7 is very complicated. So Epic 7 is a PvP oriented game. It does have some good story. Some people love the story of it. The story is updated semi-frequently, and the PvP meta is balanced pretty consistently. And the game overall is really free to play friendly. So the new player experience in E7 is fantastic. It's always getting updated. It's in the best place ever every time I make a video. So with the state of the game right now, I was able to play an old account last month, or a brand new account, free to play, and I was able to get Challenger RTA in 15 days. I think I could have pushed a champ if I would have taken it a little bit seriously. So just know, as a new player, you can push into that. I wouldn't expect that, because I'm an experienced player. I know what I'm doing. I know different strategies that you can do into PvP, and I know how to roll gear. There's a bunch of things in this game that are challenging. Gearing is one of them. Knowing how to progress in general is probably the hardest thing. As a new player getting into this game, you have no idea what to do or where to go. So with that being said, if any of you have started an account in the past and are willing to give the game a try, I will be doing my best to outline a step-by-step way to get your account stabilized and get into PvP. Or if you don't want to get into PvP, get your account stabilized and you can start focusing on more PvE clearing stuff. If you want to take the game casually, that would be what I would suggest if you're going to do PvE only. And that's player versus everything versus player. So this game is known for being potentially the best player versus player game, because it is free to play friendly. The gearing, everyone hates it for some reason. The gearing's amazing in this game. You just have to appreciate it for what it is and learn how to do it. But I love the gearing in Epic 7. It's the reason I still play this game. Some people argue with that. Some people will also argue that the PvP of this game is super unbalanced. But to their credit, I argue this all the time, that it is fantastically balanced. There's some obnoxious stuff in there, but without the obnoxious stuff, this game would be pay to win. And I can make a couple arguments on that, but I'll try to save that for you guys that are just getting into the game and trying to find out, should you bother even starting it. So with this is my main account, as you see. So with the game, right now we are entering kind of the most power creep segment of Epic 7 we've ever been in, which that is good news to new players. So as a new player, there are certain characters that are out that keep coming. One of them is this character named Janua, and this is just like kind of a guideline as to what I'm trying, or baseline of what I'm trying to say. These new characters that are coming out are all insanely powerful and meta defining. If you pull these new characters, a lot of them aren't super hard to gear to use them at their potential. You don't have to have the craziest gear to make them work. Janua is one of them. The better gear you have on these characters, obviously the better they'll perform, but as a new player getting into it, you can get not the greatest of gear on them, because getting a character geared is harder than pulling a character. So that is one thing I want to tell you right now. Every one good piece of gear you get is equivalent to pulling a character, and you need 6 good pieces of gear to feel like a character is good. So you basically need to pull a character 7 times, essentially, 8 times, including an artifact, to have a good character. That is the hardest part of the game, is gearing. So the power creep portion, though, whenever you're a new player and coming in, and every character that's getting released is very strong. Even Wukong's pretty strong, and he's the newest character. He is definitely usable. He's not as strong as these other characters I'm going over, but some of these, Lai is insanely strong. She's one of the most recent limiteds. But with the new characters being strong, and it's great for the game for new players to come in and have a chance to get into the PvP. So if you're a new player, the biggest thing is you need to kind of join the community if you want to get into PvP. You need to join, I have a Discord server, you need to join a Discord server and kind of talk to the people in there that are experienced, and you'll know whether to pull on characters or not. And with that thought, I'm going to talk about resources too after this, just so it's a quick transition. But just kind of put the time in and learn the game. If you're going to come into E7 and treat it as a super casual game, I wouldn't try to get into PvP. PvP takes a lot of game knowledge. There are so many characters. That is one of the things that a lot of people are going to be scared about starting. The game's 5 years old now, almost 6, I think. And getting into a game with that many established characters is rough. But E7 has added things for new players to learn the game. So there's a mode called Draft Arena. So you can go into this during certain times. And it's only available during certain times. But you can go into this and you can learn the characters. You can practice and see what the in-game PvP is like, because they have all the characters in the game pretty much, and they have builds on them that are close to meta builds. So you can see and learn as you start getting more into the game and decide if you want to actually try to get into it. You can start playing around, play matches, learn how to pick your characters in the proper order, learn what's good against what. But they have ways for you to actually learn the game, which is really nice. That's something that was never there before. You kind of just went in with the characters you had and hope that you could learn that way. But now there's a way to kind of learn it. So the power creep thing is great. There's Moonlight 5 characters, and those Moonlight 5 characters are the rare characters of this game. Think of them as LDs from Summoner's War. But the thing with Epic 7 that's fantastic is you can get one of those characters free to play about once every 3 months, maybe once every 4 months. So you're going to get at least 3 minimum ML5s a year, which would be like LD5s in Summoner's War if you're coming from there. I don't know what other games have PvP that are gotchas that I can compare it to, but they're the PvP strongest characters of the game. They're designed for PvP. So Moonlight 5s are always PvP characters. If you see a Moonlight 5 and think, is this good in PvE? The answer is maybe. It's not designed for it, so I wouldn't expect it to be. But those are going to be your PvP characters, and you can get them. That's one cool thing with Epic 7 compared to the other games that have PvP, is as a free-to-play player, you're going to get a bunch of them. Most players, once you play for 3 to 4 years, you're going to have most of the characters. The game gives away a ton of them, a ton of resources to pull for them. And as long as you spend your resources smartly and do everything you're supposed to do your guild wars and actually play the game, then you are going to be able to pull them consistently. And that's unheard of for other games as a free-to-play player. Now, as free-to-play, yes, you're going to be limited, but you can do fine in this game. There are almost always really high-up players who are always free-to-play. So if that's your issue with the game and seeing PvP and thinking it's pay-to-win, there are some pay-to-win elements to it, but it's basically you just have more chances to get good stuff. If you're pay to win, you'll have more chance to get more stuff. The biggest thing with Epic 7 is playtime. If you've been playing the game for 5 years, you can easily compete against someone who's spent $100,000 who's been playing for 5 years. That's the crazy thing. If you've been playing the same or the same amount of time, you're going to do fine. Now, as a new player, RNG will favor you, so you need to keep that in mind. That's one thing I'll be going over in my guide. We're going to be kind of taking characters that are really RNG reliant to help you. But we're still going to be setting up our normal, every kind of team you could need for the game, basically, for clearing all PvE content, getting your Guild War teams and PvE or arena team set up. So with that basic stuff being said, let me make sure I have a little notepad. So with this right now, you can push PvP fast. Like I said, I got Challenger in 15 days on a new account. The highest you really need to get to is Masters if you want to get the skins for free. But PvP has no rewards. So one thing with Epic 7 is the only reason to play PvP is to show off all the hard work you put in. So you can build your characters and get them to be strong, but there's really no point to do that unless you're playing PvP, and that's why I don't suggest this game for anyone who's just focusing PvE. It just doesn't feel good, but maybe if you like the story and take it super casually, it could be worth it to you. Now, the other thing with E7 is the character customization. Character customization in this game is awesome. So you're going to be getting gear. Sometimes you don't have really fast characters. You don't get the speed gear. Everyone's always complaining about speed. Speed's really important in E7. But whenever you don't get speed, there are options you can do to try to build characters even without the speed. So there's a ton of customizations. You can build your characters in a bunch of different ways, and it's really nice. So certain characters you could build super high damage, or those same characters you could build bulky. So like this, I just made a really high damage version of this with not as much like health and defense, but other people build 20,000 HP. See, I have 12. So there's a bunch of cool things you can do and be annoying, basically. So whenever you build a character that is off meta and different, people are used to fighting characters that are in a specific spot and usually range from X build to X build. If you go outside of that, you can win games because they expect you to be in that certain thing. So there's certain different sets that you can do, like there's this counter set. Some people put injury set on random characters and they win games because of it, because people don't expect it. And there's a bunch of cool customization that as you get further into the game, you can learn and do. So it makes it to where every account is unique. And that's a really cool thing. You don't have to copy everyone's super meta thing. So the game's really free to play friendly as well. Like I was going over, you get all those characters for free. You don't have to spend money on this game for any reason, which is great. I don't spend any money anymore. I think I buy the $5 monthly pack, but I haven't spent money on this game in a long time. I try to avoid spending because I don't need to. I have every character in the game. I haven't spent that much. I spent an average of $50 a day. Or a day, yeah, no. $50 a month for 5 years, I think was my average. If you take all the money I spent, it's around that. So it's like $3,000 total. But it's my job to play this game. So, but that's really cheap to have everything in the game, $50 a day. You spend that, or $50 a month. You spend that in Summer's War, you're still gonna have nothing. So E7's in a great spot. Now, if you made it this far in this video, if you are a new player that was already following my old guide series, a couple quick changes. Those of you that are new players and just picking up the game, you're not gonna have any idea what I'm talking about, but you could listen if it'll all make sense in a little bit. So, or after you start watching the guide. First up, selective summon. I'll tell you guys right now, it doesn't matter. Your first selective summon, you can get through the game doing anything. It really does not matter. The selective summon is going to be, the 3 options we're going to give are Fire Ravi if your focus is getting into RTA. I don't know if it'll be good, but that's what we're going to try is Fire Ravi. Second, if your goal is to just be a player versus everything gamer and not like rush into PvP and take the game kind of slower, then Asaria is really good. I have personally not used her on any account, but I know she's really good. You could see everybody beats everything with her, but she is not needed. I beat everything without her. So don't feel like if you're getting into E7 and you happen to join the official E7 Discord that says if you don't have Asaria, your account's ruined. Don't listen to that, dude. I don't know what world they're living in, but they take the things that don't matter in this game so seriously. And then third, we're going to have Destina. So Destina is going to be for your arena/guild war players. Destina gives you a revive mechanic and allows you to push higher in arena faster, so you can start getting more sky stones, because having a revive mechanic, there's nothing else in the game that offers you that unless you get lucky and pull a Moonlight 5 character. The only other characters that can revive a dead unit are Moonlight 5s. So Destina gives you a mechanic that you cannot achieve anywhere else at the current moment. So she still has a ton of value. When I first made the guide, she was insanely strong. There was the Epic 7 World Cup. She was picked in like 70% of the games, or 60. She was picked almost every game. So why would I not tell players to get the character that is picked the most at the highest tier of the game and could still be used in every other tier of the game? So that's the guide will be quite a bit different. But if you did go with Destina, it's fine. If you want this area, it's fine. If you want blue Cez, if you pick Cez or Vildred, you're fine. It doesn't matter. Your account will basically be in the same spot in the same amount of time. You might have to change a couple of things, but it's not a big deal. That's the most annoying thing. I will tell you right now, if you're going to follow my guide, either follow my guide or go to the E7 official Discord, because it doesn't matter. If you follow mine, there are tens of thousands of people that have succeeded with my guide. I have the biggest E7 Discord outside the official one, and you can just go in there and ask, and people will tell you it worked or didn't work, but they're going to tell you it worked. And then if you go to the official Discord and say my name, they will say that if you even clicked on one of my videos, you should delete your account and you are doomed, and you should just quit E7 at that moment. So if you are going to follow my guide, follow my guide. If you don't trust it, go to the official Discord, follow their written guides, and good luck to you. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. It doesn't matter. As long as you stick with the game and progress, it doesn't matter who you follow. As long as you have some guidance, it's going to help you. Second, though, the next thing is going to be your second selective summon. I usually say to get Blue Shoe. There's also the option of Polytus. I would still say Blue Shoe, because Polytus, as a new player, you are going to not have the artifact options for her, and you will also not have the support characters around her. So Polytus is a great character, fantastic. I don't know, I might take her on this one. Either one you take, I would say 50-50. If either one you take, it's going to be good. Getting Blue Shoe will allow you to have RNG in your matches for a chance to win your games. And I will tell you right now, if you try to play RTA and just lose every single game, you're going to get discouraged and quit. Whereas picking Blue Shoe, if you learn where to pick her, you can at least feel like you have a chance because she can counter. and you might win. But Politis is going to be one of those characters that will disrupt your opponent, and she is the outdraft character. If you pick Polly along with the other characters that are good around her, your opponent will probably be in a position where they don't really get to play the game, at least to what they expected to. So Polly is really good, but I don't think a new player is going to be able to utilize her, as well as getting an RNG character that could win you games. Because as a new player, you're always going to want to favor RNG as you're trying to learn, just so you could maybe have some chance to win some games. And it creates a more fun scenario for yourself, because having a game that lasts longer where you feel like you had a chance is more fun than having a game where you pick your characters and you die instantly. So that is my mindset behind it. I have a lot of things with that are trying to get new players or you guys to enjoy the game and stick with the game, versus just taking the super meta X thing and not enjoying the game as much, because you cannot do the things that everyone expects you to be able to do because they haven't played a new account. In-game players will give you advice based off what works at in-game, but they have no experience of playing a new account and are not going to understand that what they're suggesting is not as good as they think it is. So just keep that in mind. Next, we're going to be saying the Moonlight Blessing 1 is still Spectre Tenebria. She's not as good in PvP anymore, but she's great in Guild Wars, and she can be okay in Arena. And she is fantastic for PvE clearing. So clearing Abyss, clearing Story. Spectre Tenebria is still going to be the take. I'm not changing that. She's by far the best option there. And then the second select or Moonlight Blessing is second Moonlight Blessing is Death Dealer Ray. So Death Dealer Ray instead of Meteor Cowrick. If you took Meteor Cowrick, it's fine. Meteor Cowrick's still good right now if anybody picks a debuffer. So the reason Death Dealer Ray is super good is because Laya came out and she's just a better Meteor Cowrick. But if you took Meteor Cowrick, you're kind of going to need him, because I don't know what you're going to do for cleanses. So if the opponent takes Laya, it's usually really good to take Celine if you do have this character. It's really good to take Celine and Hand Guy. You can usually come up with some kind of tank down ability. But the bad thing is if they take Laya Celine, then you have to fire Ravi them, which is why I'm having you guys get fire Ravi. I don't know another strategy you can do as a new player for that. So like, people will say, oh, that's where Polytus could work. I don't think it's going to work. But I think fire Ravi will be the play into that. So I'm going to try to create the best outline I can for you to get into PvP. But those of you guys who don't care about PvP, it doesn't matter. So Fire Ravi is going to be what I take from Selective Summon. But the character I'm telling you guys to pick, if I can keep my brain in one straight line, is Death Dealer Ray. I don't use this character very much. I'm just so used to fighting him every single game. I would say in RTA, 30% of my losses are to this character, maybe 20. This character is insanely strong. He is absurdly strong. Maybe in 3 months from now, though, he'll have more counters and he won't be as good. But for right now, this character, if you're a new player and first pick him, as you're getting into RTA, you're probably going to win a lot of games because your opponents won't have the characters to combat him. So that's the thing. I have every character in the game and I still struggle to fight this stupid thing. I have every character in the game and I can't. I've tried for seasons to come up with like sets, guaranteed win strats against it. And I've definitely gotten good at fighting him. I probably have a higher win rate than loss rate to him now, but he is brutal. This character, I hate this character, but take him over Meteor Coward. So that's all I have for this video. Hopefully this helped you. And those of you, if you're a new player still this far in this video, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but the new guide will start tomorrow. This is part 0. Any of you that are following the old guide, you can keep following the old guide. Just take what I just said. Oh, we're going to be one-shotting Zeo too. So rage set one-shotting Zeo. That will be different. If you have any questions with that, just join the Discord and we'll guide you. It's super easy. But that's all I have. I will be uploading part 1 of the guide tomorrow. I'm about to start the account right now. And I might stream it. I don't know. I might stream. If you see me live, then I'll be streaming it. But otherwise, is Epic 7 worth to play in 2024? I gave you the bonus points of it. And I think it is, personally. I think it's in the same spot as if you started at the beginning of the game. It's just, you're just going to always feel behind. That's the only downfall. But that's it. I will see you all tomorrow, day 1, updated 2024 new player guide. Peace out.